Hey folks, as have all the previous trailers for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the most recent one in the February Nintendo Direct 2023 has created more questions than provided answers. Not that trailers are supposed to answer anything, but the mysteries regarding this game are just growing. Whilst what we've seen feels like a lot, it probably only scratches the surface of the entire game's content. I mean, just look at the file size compared to Breath of the Wild. It's Breath of the Wild plus a full game. As an avid Zelda Mysteries fan, I thought it'd be a fun video to look at 5 of my favourite mysteries from this new trailer and talk about what I think could be going on. This is definitely one of my favourite types of videos to make, so sit back, get comfy, and as always, be sure to go and grab yourself a snack or drink and send them in to get featured right here. And also be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel out. And let's get into this one. Starting off, let's look at something at the very end of the trailer. I'm not doing this chronologically through the trailer, just my personal preference. Deal with it. In one of the last few shots, we get a good look at Hyrule Field and transition into the game logo. In the field, we can see some pieces that have fallen from the sky, and even one piece that is currently falling, potentially about to smack this poor Hylian on the head. I'm sure they'll be fine. Speaking of this NPC, that's where the mystery here begins. I can't lie, I didn't even notice this figure until it was pointed out to me on Twitter when I asked if Ganondorf has killed everyone. Now, for all we know, this shot could be before Ganondorf's big rampage. It could also be after. But what's interesting about it is that we can see some sort of camp here. It's not a stable, but looks to be a similar concept. It isn't a small traveller's tent, it's a large gazebo-sized tent, as if it's a temporary or makeshift settlement or to suit a large group of travellers. I personally believe it's more of a small makeshift settlement like the stables, as it has this sort of flag outside, perhaps marking it as a resting point or to mark whatever the purpose of this tent is. This definitely isn't the biggest mystery of the game, but I am very curious as to why this person is here and what the setup is for. Maybe following the calamity, people feel more safe to set up camps in central Hyrule. That idea would likely mean this shot is before Ganondorf's attack begins. Another idea of mine is possibly being someone, or a group of people, intrigued by the suddenly falling pieces of rock. People who examine them and maybe even collect pieces. Maybe the woman on the beach that is obsessed with Sheikah technology, particularly her orb, now has a new obsession. That's very out there, but would be pretty cool. I get the feeling this mystery won't be as big as I think it is, but you never know. Anything could be in that tent. Most mysteries in the series aren't solvable or fully solvable, but that's what makes them so interesting to begin with. However, with this mystery, I think we will easily be able to find out the answer when we play the game for ourselves. It's a cool, easily missed detail that I'm pretty intrigued by, and look forward to finding out the answer. The next huge mystery is definitely more tricky. Why are the Zonai curated Lomai labyrinths floating? In the trailer, we can see these huge blocks in the sky, and if you track directly down from them, it marks the exact location of those labyrinths. Now, something incredibly interesting that I learned through Monster Maze's incredible video about discoveries in this trailer is that we actually get a shot of the northern maze both on the ground as it's seen in Breath of the Wild, and then also in the sky, meaning we likely witness whatever event causes them to rise. Incredibly awesome spot by Monster Maze, so full credit to him as that's where I learned that. Now, the mystery that's intriguing me regarding all of this is what actually comes of them rising. We visited the labyrinths themselves already in Breath of the Wild, and I can't imagine them rising changes anything about what's inside, nor can I imagine revisiting the exact same inside would be very interesting. In my mind, this means we're probably looking at something being beneath them. Extensions to the mazes in a more dungeon-like fashion? Or maybe entrances to sections of the new underground? Man, it could be anything. If I had to guess, I would imagine they're opening up entrances to access the underground, but I honestly don't think we can say for sure just yet. The fact that we'll likely witness the event of them rising is pretty damn cool though. I cannot wait to discover what lies beneath them, or what comes of them rising. The next mystery is a slight return to one that originally came up with the trailer before this one, and the key art which was posted directly after. That being, the storm seen in the Hyrule region. Well, going off this new trailer, actually above the Hyrule region. Specifically, Hyrule Mountain, as in this shot we can see the clean cut it has just below the peak. Prior to seeing this new view, it was being speculated that the storm had actually engulfed and essentially taken over this area, but we can clearly see that it's above the region, not within. There hasn't been anything said or shown by Nintendo on their social media pages regarding this storm, which is mysterious because we know basically nothing about it, but it being in the key art implies it will have a major part to play in the game. We at least know a little vague amount of information about the likes of Ganondorf, the Sky Islands, the Hand, and so on, but this is a complete mystery as to why it's there and what it's doing. Seeing it actually above Hyrule Mountain makes it all the more confusing and mysterious. I'll be honest, I don't really have any ideas currently as to what this storm is. It could be related to a smaller, similar looking storm we saw in the Faron region, but that's not certain. Maybe it'll lower at some point and actually engulf Hyrule Mountain, but we'll definitely need to wait and find out what this is all about. One insanely cool part of this trailer was the new crafted vehicles. We saw Link locate various parts, and then later see them pieced together with a green putty of some kind. Some of you will hate me for saying these words, but I am dubbing this Zonai Gloop. It's clear these vehicles will bring a very new form of traversal to the game, but the mystery here lies with where they actually came from. We saw Link pulling a wheel out of the mud up on the Great Plateau, and whilst easy to miss, we can also see some propeller fan parts on Death Mountain, which are later seen on the hovercraft-like vehicle. There is also a hot air balloon sort of thing, but we didn't see any parts of that to my knowledge. Anyway, where have all these parts come from? It's clear that there's some sort of powerful technology that we haven't seen yet. We might already know of who's behind it, but that's not the question here. Although I will say I am very much on board with this being the work of the Zonai. Obviously. My initial guess would be that they fell from the sky. We've seen a lot of rocks and blocks falling from the sky, some with that same green bluish glow. I wouldn't say it's that out there to assume they came from the sky and were tracking the pieces down, though the parts on Death Mountain give me dug up vibes, which has thrown me off, as if they were already here and were just dug up. I'm more on the side of them being from the sky, but like all these mysteries, there is no way to know for sure right now. And then there's the other part of this mystery. Where does the gloop come from? And what exactly is it? Saving the best for last, the identity of the two characters in this scene. First things first, and this has to be made clear. We have no way to say for certain who each of these characters are. I've seen it heavily debated a ton already, but it's important to remember here that we can't say for 100% just yet. With that said, who could they be? The first figure has been speculated to be either Princess Zelda in some shape or form, possibly taking up a new role, possibly dead and now as a spirit, or just as herself. Zelda. Or Hylia herself. Now, Zelda and Hylia are sort of the same person / entity. Zelda is the human mortal form of Hylia. Due to the very scenic and elegant look, many fans have thought this to be Hylia in the flesh. It has also been speculated to be the mysterious figure depicted on these carvings in the September 22 trailer for the game. The designs on their dress do look similar. For me, it isn't Hylia, and is most likely either a form of Zelda, perhaps dead or a spirit. That, or this is in fact the mysterious character previously depicted, and something to go along with that is we can see a platform behind them. We also saw the depicted character on a platform. Just saying. I lean more to the side of the mysterious character for that reason, and my speculation for the other person will also help to explain why. With the second figure, we can see the new mysterious hand that Link is also seen with. However, it doesn't mean that this is Link. We know the hand does exist separate from Link at some stage. At the same time, it could very well be Link. There's also a shout here for the hand being the mysterious character, making the other more likely to be someone such as Zelda, but let's not confuse things. So I'm saying that this is the mysterious character. I believe that the hand seen here is actually Link. I didn't believe this at first, but after being able to think on it more, I am speculating that the second figure, the hand, is Link, for a few reasons. For starters, we know he gets the hand at some stage. possibly in relation to the mysterious figure. We hear Zelda asking someone to lend him your power. That line is played over this shot, and we can see here that something is up with Link's arm, but isn't glowing yet. However, in the very first trailer, we see a glowing hand catch one of them falling down by where Ganondorf is. In other words, this same scene. I think Zelda is speaking to the hand here, and asking it to lend power to Link, who at this time has a malice burnt arm in critical need of care. It's out there at this stage, but I think the hand does lend their power, and this scene here is a shot of some kind following the Ganondorf scene after the hands caught them both, or at least Link. Now in the sky, and Link has been given his new hand powers from the mysterious figure, making this person the mysterious figure, and this person Link. Again, there is no way to tell currently, but that is what I think. Those are 5 mysteries from this new trailer that intrigue me. There are definitely more, but these are the ones I'm currently fixated on. Tears of the Kingdom is less than 90 days away from releasing, and between now and then, there is likely to be more showing off. For starters, we haven't seen any gameplay yet, and it's unlikely the game will be released without showing any gameplay at all. I wouldn't say it's too far-fetched to predict another trailer prior to release as well, but I don't know. I'd like to think there'll be gameplay at least. Anyway, we're definitely in for a ton more mysteries, which I'll definitely be covering. If you have any video suggestions in the meantime, feel free to leave them down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to drop a wee like down below, and also consider subscribing for more fabulous Zelda content leading up to the release of Tears of the Kingdom and beyond. Follow my social media pages linked below to keep up to date and or send in a snack or drink photo. As always, a huge massive amazing shout out goes to all of my channel supporters. Thanks a ton. Your support really helps me to make these videos week in, week out, all month long, 365 days a year. If you'd like to join them and get yourself a shout out upon joining and your name at the end of every video, then consider supporting via the links below. Thanks for watching. I hope you all have an amazing day or night, and until the next time, I've been Hyrule Gamer.